So, welcome to the class. Students, can you see my screen? Yes. No? No? Okay. Now? Okay. Okay. So, the subject that we're going to learn throughout the semester is microprocessor interfacing. We'll start with the fundamentals. We'll go for the programming, and finally, we'll check for the interfacing as well. Right? Can anyone tell me if I speak the word microprocessor, what comes into your mind? What you are understanding with the word microprocessor? Anyone? Please discuss. If I'll use word microprocessor, any knowledge that you have with this word, please speak. Hello? Anyone? Students? If I'll use word microprocessor, anything that comes into your mind. Content, arithmetic logic, very good, Pooja. Okay. Pooja, can you unmute and speak? Okay. Anything that comes into your mind. Whenever, yes, Pranav also says ALU. Okay. If I speak the word microprocessor, what do you think? Where you will find this device microprocessor? Generally, क्या हो microprocessor? CPU, okay? So basically CPU is a part of which device? Yes, PC. So you can say desktop, laptop, mobile, right? In any device that generally we are calling that smart device that contains microprocessor. Yes or no? Yes or no? Right? Now suppose if I say microprocessor, the word micro processor, we all can understand that it contains the processes that we want, that we are going to perform under this device. So that is the word processor. But can anyone tell me why we are choosing the word micro? Why it is microprocessor, not mini processor? Yes, please tell me. Anyone? You can unmute and talk, right? Make it interactive. No need to worry. You can speak, unmute and speak. By the word micro, anyone? Henil? Do you know anything about microprocessor? Yes or no? Yes or no? Henil? Because it perform on register level, that's right. Okay. So if you say resistors, there are two words, register and resistors, Pranav. So I think there is some confusion in between. Now let us talk. Generally, the technology that we are using to build up the microprocessor or to make a processor is how many transistor or how many logical blocks you can embed onto a single chip. Based upon that, there will be a microprocessor based upon that you can decide what is the capacity of your microprocessor. Right? Generally, suppose if we are saying that you are embedding millions of transistors onto a single chip. The technology that we are using is VLSI, ULSI, SLSI, right? So this kind of technologies will go and check in detail how these technologies can embed a number of logical blocks or number of transistor onto a single chip, right? So based upon the technology that we are going to use to build up the processor, and that is in terms of minimum in terms of 10 raised to minus 6. So that's why the name is microprocessor, right? Generally, if I speak the word microprocessor, what do you think? Which company is manufacturing microprocessor? આ તો બધાને ખબર હોય. Being a computer students, we all know that which company is making a microprocessor. I want a list of companies. તમને ખબર જ હોય microprocessor કોણ બનાવતું હોય? Who is making? Who is a major manufacturer of microprocessor? Very good. Intel, AMD, very good. Okay. Now one Intel and AMD is already written, so will not repeat. આના સિવાય કોઈને કઈ ખબર હોય? કોણ માઇક્રોપ્રોસેસર બનાવે છે? બે જ નામ ખબર છે? જાનવી, પૂજા. Yes, NVIDIA. Very good, Pranav. Okay. Then Qualcomm. Very good, Henny. Okay. Anyone? So if we'll go and check generally who are the major manufacturers of microprocessor, you will find so many companies like many of this કે જે લોકો major provider છે for the microprocessor that is listed here. Intel, AMD, NVIDIA, Qualcomm, Motorola, Samsung. There are so many companies. They are in this business. They are manufacturing microprocessor, right? Now, generally, suppose if I say microprocessor, so આપણને ખાલી wordથી we are aware that what is microprocessor, right? How it will work, how we can program it, what are the devices that we can interface with the microprocessor. Still, these things are not known to us. Yes or no? Right? Suppose generally, whenever we are talking about term microprocessor, so knowingly or unknowingly, that word is known to us, right? That word we are familiar with. But the thing is, suppose if I say how to connect microprocessor, how to communicate this processor with the peripheral, with the outside world, how to program this microprocessor, so that thing we don't know, right? So throughout the semester, we'll try to understand that suppose if we are having a microprocessor, then how to program this processor, how to perform a specific task onto the microprocessor, how to interface this microprocessor, what is inside the microprocessor, all these things we are going to learn throughout the semester. So aim is clear what we are going to do throughout the semester. Yes or no? Right? Generally, if we are talking about the microprocessor, three things must be known to us. One is what is inside the microprocessor. Second thing is how to program microprocessor. And third thing is how to connect your microprocessor with the peripheral device so that you can perform a specific task, right? So if you know these three things, you can use you can use any microprocessor, right? So first thing is what is inside the microprocessor. Second is how to program it, and third is how to interfaces, right? So within this semester, we are going to learn these three things majorly. First, we'll start with what is inside the microprocessor. If we know what is inside the processor, then we can program it. If we can program it, we can interface the peripheral device. We can connect our microprocessor with the outside world, right? So these three things we have to learn throughout the semester. If you know these three things, you can make any processor to work for you, right? Suppose if I'll give you any microprocessor, you can connect, you can communicate with, right? So agenda is clear. What we are going to learn throughout the semester. To Janvi, it's clear. What about others? Is it clear to everyone? Right? Okay, very good. Now, suppose today is our lab, right? But before starting with the actual programming or before starting with the first lab, just try to understand how many modules we are having, how we'll proceed throughout the semester. So that will that will be helpful to you to understand the process, right? So I think my screen is visible, right? Now suppose if we say the processor, microprocessor fundamentals and programming, microprocessor fundamental and programming. So as we discussed that fundamentals contains what is inside the microprocessor, how to program it, and once you know these two things, ultimately you are in a position to interface, you are in a position to connect your microprocessor with the peripheral device, right? So I hope that is clear. Now today what we are going to cover is what is the objective of the course, what is the course content, CO, references, few things that CO and references, teaching and evaluation schemes that we are not going to cover right now because that we will cover whenever we are having a whole class. So I'll not repeat it 3 times for A, B and C batch, but we'll discuss these common themes into our session, right? Lecture session, so that all can understand. So today, majorly we are going to focus on to the course content and introduction to microprocessor. Once we'll understand these two things, we'll move with the first lab, and that is lab 1. In lab 1 we are going to check how we can perform certain experiment throughout the semester onto a hardware as well as onto a simulator, right? So these things we are going to learn today. So I hope I'm clear with this. Now, whenever you are starting with any course, whenever you are starting with any course, generally the objective to learn that subject is always clear. That should be clear to us, right? Now, what is the objective with this course is to expose you for the architecture, instruction set. Here we are focusing on 8-bit microprocessor. Here we are focusing on 8-bit microprocessor. Now, if we are having a doubt that what we mean by 8-bit microprocessor, so in answer to that, suppose if you say, if I am having a microprocessor, if I am having any microprocessor, with that microprocessor, simultaneously I can perform the operation on how many bits? Onto how many bits? Simultaneously I can perform a operation that bit microprocessor you are using. For example, suppose if I want to add two numbers. Suppose if I want to add two numbers. So how many bits I can check to add two numbers? કેટલા bit લઈશ? Bit તો બધાને idea હશે, right? So if I want to add two 8-bit number, that means the minimum microprocessor, the minimum capacity of my microprocessor must be 8-bit. How many number of bits you can take as an data to process that number of, that can be considered as that number of bit n bit microprocessor. Suppose with this n bit microprocessor, if I can add or if I can perform any process which is of the data that I'm containing, the data that I'm taking is of 88-bit, that kind of microprocessor considered can be considered as 8-bit microprocessor. Suppose if I want to perform certain operation, and for that if I'm taking the data that is of 16-bit, that means now 8-bit microprocessor will not work. I need to go and check for the 16-bit microprocessor. Do you have any idea that right now whatever laptop or mobile we are using, એમાં કેટલા બીટનું પ્રોસેસર હોય, કોઈને આઈડિયા છે? ફીચર્સમાં ક્યારે ઓબ્ઝર્વ કર્યું હોય? હાઉ મેની બિટ્સ આર ધેર? Generally, suppose if you are going and checking the features of your laptop, generally અત્યારે જે પ્રોસેસર આપણે યુઝ કરીએ છીએ લેપટોપમાં, એમાં કેટલા બીટ પ્રોસેસર છે? ડુ વી હેવ એની આઈડિયા? એનીવન? Yes or no? Generally, right now, whatever you are using, laptop or your mobile, એમાં કેટલા બીટનું પ્રોસેસર હોય છે? એનીવન? Then, am I audible to you, students? Hello? Smith, Pooja, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
So,
Yes,
do we
ma'am.
have any?
Scroll down.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Very good. Very good. So 64-bit microprocessor, generally 32 or 64-bit microprocessor that we are using. Very good. All right. Now, suppose if we are saying that we are using a 64-bit microprocessor, the meaning is simultaneously we can perform any process onto a 64-bit, right? So you can check, you can here you can understand that how much faster microprocessor can process, that depends upon the number of bit that we can deal with simultaneously, right? તમે તમારા processor that we will check also that how this number of bits and operating frequency that will be depending upon the speed of the processor, right? That we are going to check. So the objective of the course is to learn 8-bit microprocessor. કોઈને એવું ક્વેશ્ચન થાય કે why 8-bit microprocessor today we are learning? એવું કોઈને એવું કઈ ડાઉટ થાય? Why today we are learning 8-bit microprocessor? થાય તો આન્સર આપો, otherwise it's okay. We are going to learn 8-bit microprocessor throughout the semester. Then the statement is very easy for me. But if you have doubt why today we are learning 8-bit microprocessor, એવું કોઈને doubt છે? Yes sir. Pranav? Parth? Smith? Anyone? Why today we are learning 8-bit microprocessor? Or why we are not learning 32-bit microprocessor or 64-bit microprocessor? Okay, we'll keep this question as it is. We'll discuss in class or in next lecture that why we are not studying high bit or n-bit microprocessor, but we are studying 8-bit microprocessor. So for now, we are not discussing in detail. Okay, now suppose if we are as you are a computer student, so you must know that for to make any microprocessor to work, we must know the language of this processor, right? So for the 8-bit microprocessor, 8085 microprocessor, we have to understand the assembly language programming for that. Now, what is assembly language? Which instruction we have to study? Right? How we can write a set of instructions so that we can make a program, so that we can perform certain tasks. All these things we are going to learn. Right? Then lastly, we'll check for the a system that is based upon the microprocessor. So ultimately, whenever you are talking about microprocessor based system, that means you must have a knowledge about the interfacing. You are making with the help of microprocessor and its processing capability, you are going to perform, you are going to make a system. So if we are talking about system, so we must know system may have some input and it will give us some output, right? So the whole system we need to understand, and for that the concept of interfacing must be involved, right? So I hope with this objective, we're starting with the subject. Now, we right now in lab, we are not going to check for the course outcome that after the completion of this semester, how many outcomes or which are the outcomes that we are going to achieve, right? So based upon that outcomes, what are the understanding of particular module or particular chapter we may have that is connected, right? That is mapped. So that we are studying or that we are going to check in our session. But just look at the course content. All right, course content is in our very first module we are going to learn, or we are simply understand what is microprocessor. So if I say what is microprocessor, so simple definition and the words that is associated with the definition, right? Suppose if I say microprocessor contains this, what are these words? So that basically the introductory chapter. And suppose whenever you are connecting your processor with the peripheral device, all right, what are the communication? Who will provide the communication? So for that, we may have a address data control buses. We to make our processor to work, we must know the architecture of microprocessor. So all this will be involved into our first module, and that is introduction. So basically, brief overview of your whole course, that is microprocessor fundamental and programming, that we are going to check in brief in our introduction chapter. Now, once we are having the brief knowledge about with microprocessor in our introduction chapter, we'll check in detail each and everything. And as we had discussed, that once we want to understand what is a microprocessor, these three basic things must be known to us, and that is what is inside the processor. So that you are going to learn through pin diagram and architecture, how you can make your processor to work. So for that you must know how to program your microprocessor, and for that you must know assembly language. So that instructions we are going to learn in second part, and third part is how to interface your microprocessor with the peripheral device, right? So basically, if you'll observe now onwards, if you'll observe your remaining module, so that is focus on that. As we discussed, that what is inside the processor can be understand through the architecture of microprocessor. So here you can check that our module number 2 is nothing but the architecture of 8085 microprocessor. Right. A second thing that we discussed, we want to understand how to program microprocessor, and for that we must know what is the instruction that we have to use, right? And that we are going to learn through instruction set, right? So for the instruction set, we are having a chapter number, module number 3, assembly language programming. Here, this particular module will give you idea. Suppose if you know the different instruction, how to put this instruction together so that you can build a program which will perform certain specific tasks, right? So that you are going to learn in module number 4, which is assembly language programming, right? So suppose if I'll say that you may have 5 different instruction. Now, how by using this 5 instruction, how meaningful you are using this 5 instruction and you are performing certain tasks. So that particular thing, that particular knowledge you will get through this module, right? Now, last part, as we discussed, that if I give you microprocessor chip, it will do nothing. But suppose if I want to connect it with the peripheral device, like suppose if I want to connect it with input device, which will take some input from the sensors, right? Which will take the input from some sources. Based upon my requirement, it will process and that will give me some output. So that is the real use of microprocessor. So without IO devices, there is no use of microprocessor. ખાલી તમને એક chip આપી દઉં, so that is useless. But thing is, how to process your data, so that data you need to give to the microprocessor, and that for that you must have a knowledge how to connect input device with the microprocessor. Same way, suppose if I'll do any process and that result is inside the microprocessor, but that is of no use. Why? Because I'm not able to observe it. Once I'll observe it, then I'll take some decision based upon that, right? So thing is, I have to connect some output device with the microprocessor, which will check my result, which will be the result of processing, right? So for that, I must have to connect some output device with the microprocessor. How to connect? So that you will find in your interfacing section, right? Now, as we know, whenever you are connecting your input device, you are connecting your output device to perform certain tasks, to store some data, you need a memory, right? So, yeah, with this module, you will find both the things, how to interface your memory with the microprocessor, how to connect or how to interface your input output device with the microprocessor, right? So, both these things you are able to find here in this module. Very interesting and very important module, you can say. Why? Because every time whenever you are dealing with any microprocessor, always you must have a knowledge that how to connect your peripheral device or memory device with the microprocessor, right? So I hope I'm clear with this discussion. Now, whenever you are connecting your peripheral device with the microprocessor, you may have two, three options, right? Whether you can serially connect it or you can connect it through interrupt. So that how many types of interrupt we are having, or how to check for the different interrupt. If I'll find any interrupt, what is the priority? So all this thing is included here in module number 6, right? And last, advanced microprocessor. So in advanced microprocessor, we are going to learn RISC and CISC architecture, right? Brief review of this two architecture, then Intel advanced microprocessor. So you are right now studying 8085 microprocessor. So any processor you will take, that will be considered as advanced processor for you. For example, 8085 you are studying, so 8086, 186, 286, 386, right? So all Pentium series, all these processors are advanced microprocessor for us, right? So once you know 8085 microprocessor, you are going to find, or you will check that once I may have certain basic knowledge about this processor 8085. Now, if I am dealing with any advanced microprocessor, so that will be easy for me, right? Because basic is clear to us. So once 8085 microprocessor, in detail you will learn, you will find any advanced microprocessor, you may have a comparison of features, you may have a comparison with respect to architecture. But now, once this basic knowledge is with you, you can program any advanced microprocessor, right? And we'll check a little bit about ARM processor, ARM processor. So that will comes under the category of advanced microprocessor. So this is the course content that we are going to check throughout the semester. Any discussion on this? Anyone? Let us discuss anything that you want to ask or you want to check or you want further justification on any point. Please discuss. Yes or no? Is it clear? Whatever we discuss, is it clear to you? How we are going to check or proceed throughout the semester? Is it clear to you? Everyone? Okay, good. Good. Right? Now, as we discussed that a few things are common to all batches, so that we are assessment and outcomes and all these things we will check in our class. So today for the lab number 1, we want to see how to uh, process, see, if we'll observe or if we'll check throughout the semester and theory, we will start with the architecture part. So that will give you some idea what is inside the microprocessor. In lab, in parallel with that, what we will start is how to program your microprocessor. Right? અત્યારે આપણે blank છે. We don't know architecture, we don't know instruction, right? So with the first lab, we want to check or we want to see here that suppose if I may have some basic knowledge of microprocessor, how can I start with the hardware as well as with the programming? એટલે બે વસ્તુ જોઈ લઈએ. Suppose if I want to start with the hardware, right? મારે કોઈક મને માઇક્રોપ્રોસેસરની ચીપ આપે, for example, if I may have this chip, how to program it એ મને ક્યારે આવડે તો if I know the instructions, right? But suppose if you say I don't know right now what is the architecture, what is inside the chip, so that will be not possible for me to program it. રાઈટ, હવે મારી પાસે ચીપને પ્રોગ્રામ કરવા માટે બે પોસિબિલિટીઝ હોય. યા તો મારી પાસે ફિઝિકલ માઇક્રોપ્રોસેસર ચીપ હોય, યા તો I may have a simulator, right? So through that I can give some input and I can check based upon my programming, I can check the result, right? તો આપણે બે અપ્રોચથી જવાના છીએ. Suppose if I'll have microprocessor chip, so through hardware, how to program your processor, and second thing is through simulation, how we can check the result, right? So both of this will check here. Now આપણને એ ડાઉટ થાય કે અત્યારે આપણે કોલેજ નથી આવતા, then how we will check through hardware. So એનો બી તમને ઓપ્શન આપીશ, right? Before that, today we want to understand, suppose if we are having this kit, or suppose if I am having a microprocessor with me, then how to program it. So generally in our lab we are having this trainer kit જેનું નામ છે DYNA85, right? We are having this trainer kit Dyna 85. Dyna is Dynalog company, right? એને એક એજ્યુકેશનલ ટ્રેનર કિટ બહાર પાડી છે. જનરલી if I say microprocessor, so as we had discussed, એ ખાલી એક માઇક્રોપ્રોસેસર એટલે એક ચિપ હોય, right? Through that chip you cannot do anything. But if you may have a provision to give some input, you may have a provision to get some output from that chip, so that will be of use કે તમે એને કંઈક input આપી શકો છો. You can check the result based upon your process, right? તો Dynalog કંપનીએ એક એવી એજ્યુકેશનલ કિટ બનાવી છે કે in that kit they are providing microprocessor along with the peripheral device. એટલે input device બી આપેલું છે, output device બી આપેલું છે. We are having a memory too. સો આ બધાનું કોમ્બિનેશન કરીને એક ટ્રેનર કિટ બહાર પાડી છે કે જેનાથી તમે you can understand to how to give input, how to check the result, right? So why the name is Dyna 85, that should be clear. Dyna is Dynalog company, 85 is 8085 microprocessor, that's why the name is Dyna 85. Now why 8085 microprocessor, all these things we will check in detail in class. Right now, can you observe this hardware here? બધાને આખું હાર્ડવેર દેખાય છે? Yes or no? Yes or no? Are you able to check here? Okay. Now, જ્યારે બી આપણે કોલેજ પર આવશું ત્યારે we will check this trainer kit in our lab. Right now we want to check here, or we want to see here that how our trainer kit look like, how to program your processor with this Dyna 85 trainer kit, right? One by one બધા જ IC જોતા જઈએ, બધા જ parts of this trainer kit we will check and will decide ki, how to program it, how to give input, how to check for the result. Now જ્યારે બી કોઈ બી trainer kit basic વસ્તુ છે, if you want to start, what you need? Power supply. So generally if you say this trainer kit, so that will work on plus 5 volt power supply DC, plus 5 volt DC, right? So here you have to connect a power supply, right? તમારું જે બી તમે સોકેટમાંથી ઇનપુટ લ્યો છો, પાવર લ્યો છો, right? That will be stepped down through adapter, જેવી રીતે આપણે જનરલી લેપટોપમાં હોય, right? And that will be provided to the trainer kit through this pin, which is plus or minus 5 volt, right? Now after this plus 5 volt supply, તમારી kit, તમારું trainer start થઈ ગયું, right? Why 5 volt? Because most of the ICs here they are working on 5 volt and 12 volt. એટલે અહીંયા તારી પાસે જે બી power supply છે, that is a variable power supply. It will provide us two voltages, plus 5 volt as well as 12 volts. So જે બી IC that will require 5 volt, we will apply supply accordingly. જે બી IC that will require 12 volt, so એને 12 volt જતા હોય, right? Now after this supply section, it will observe this part, right? Can you check here કે અહીંયા આપણે પ્રોસેસર છે કઈ કંપનીનું છે? તમને આનું નામ વિચાય છે? જો તો Who is manufacturer? Can you observe? 8085 microprocessor no a chip છે, right? IC, this IC is for 8085 microprocessor. Can you see, can you read here the name of the manufacturer કે જેણે આ 8085 microprocessor chip બનાવી છે? Should I zoom it? દેખાય છે કોઈને? કોઈને નથી દેખાતું? કઈ કંપનીએ બનાવ્યું છે આ માઇક્રોપ્રોસેસર? તોશિબા વાંચાય છે બધાને? તોશિબા નામ સાંભળ્યું છે ક્યારે? સી યસ. સો સપોઝ આપણને કેવી રીતે ખબર પડે કે કોઈ હુ ઇઝ અ મેન્યુફેક્ચરર? સો જનરલી કોડ હોય, રાઈટ? તમે જેમ કે લેપટોપની તો બહાર જ આપણે અહીંયા લગાવેલું હોય, ઇન્ટેલ કોર i5, કોર i7, રાઈટ? ઇફ વિલ ઓબ્ઝર્વ, તમે એને ઓપન કરીને ઓબ્ઝર્વ કરો તો એની આઈસી પર બી નામ હોય, રાઈટ? સેમ વે એવરી મેન્યુફેક્ચરર્સ ઇઝ હેવિંગ અ this part की generally manufacturer logo या तो IC અહીંયા હોય, that will be on top of the IC, right? So this particular 8085 microprocessor who is a manufacturer, that is Toshiba, right? જનરલી આપણે માઇક્રોપ્રોસેસરની વાત કરીએ એટલે પહેલું જ વર્ડ આપણા મેન્યુફેક્ચરરની વાત કરીએ એટલે પહેલો જ કંપની આપણા બધાના માઇન્ડમાં આવે, that is Intel, right? We all can understand Intel we are using, but Intel is not only a manufacturer who is building a microprocessor, so that also should be clear, right? So 8085 microprocessor by Toshiba here. Okay, now generally આપણે આખું સેમેસ્ટર શું જોવાના છે તો કે આ આઈસીને સમજવાના છે. 8085 microprocessor IC ને આપણે we have to understand, right? Okay, now as we discussed that suppose if I give you this IC, you can process definitely, but what I should apply here as an input so that I'll find this processor will perform the task and I'll find my output. So where to check, where to give input, where to check for the result, right? So for that we have to interface input and output device, right? So here કોઈ આમાંથી જોઈ શકે કે આમાં ઇનપુટ ડિવાઇસ શું છે? આ આખા બોર્ડમાં what is input device? ક્યાંથી ઇનપુટ આપતા હશે જનરલી? I have to switch અહીંયા result જોવા માટે, so better you can unmute and talk. Pranav? Yes, very good. શું છે? Here what is the input? Yes, you can speak.
Numpad.
Very good. This keypad you can say. This is your input, and Pranav, what is your output? Output device.
Display.
Very good.
Display panel.
Very good, right? Very good. If you will observe this trainer, along with the microprocessor, we are having the input device. So you can check here this keypad, through that we can give input. And here we are having a 7-segment display. 7-segment display, I think BEE, D, Digital Electronics, Basic Electronics, આ બધા જ સબ્જેક્ટમાં તમને આઈડિયા હશે કે we are in project, we are using a 7-segment display, right? આનું એક field consider કરતા હોય, so it contains 7 segment, right? So EVA total we are having how many 7-segment display connected here? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 7 segment displays connected. તમે આ 7-segment display ના બદલે ક્યાંક LCD બી જોઈ હશે, right? ક્યાંક LED બી જોઈ હશે. So there are all these are a display device. Onto that you can check your result, right? So here with this board we are having a keyboard, you can say keypad as well as a display. To give the input we need this keypad. To check the result, to check the output, you need this 7-segment display, right? હવે આ 7-segment ની બદલે મારે LCD લગાવી હોય, so that also can be possible. Suppose for instead of this keypad I want to use another keypad, so I need to interface this keypad with my microprocessor. હવે if you observe this keypad, તો તમને આ normal keypad લાગે છે કે કઈ અલગ છે? Can we check here keypad and are we able to observe કે આ general normal keypad છે કે કઈ different છે? Very good. Parth, you can unmute and speak, right? મારા અહીંયા જોવા આવવું પડે એના કરતા better. You can unmute and speak. Very good. It's hex keypad, as mentioned here. Right now, what we mean by hex keypad is generally આપણે decimal keypad કે decimal input ની વાત કરતા હોય. We are having 0 to 9 symbols, and based upon that, we have total 10 decimal numbers we can apply from 0 to 9. But here we are having a hex keypad, so 0 to 9, A to F, so total this many keys we are having, right? Now આપણને એવું થાય કે આપણે તો પ્રોગ્રામ કરવાનું છે, and how this keypad will give us input. So as we discussed, generally microprocessor ની પોતાની language છે to understand, right? Microprocessor, if I use my language to process, so obviously microprocessor cannot understand. Any processor can understand only machine level language, which is a language of 1 and 0. Yes or no? Right? Any processor will understand only one language, and that is language of 1 and 0, which is known as machine level language. But if I say कि 8085 विचारो कि if I have to write a program in machine level language, is it easy for me to write a program in machine level language? Yes or no? अगर मारे मारा प्रोसेसर ने वर्क करावવું છે તો પ્રોસેસર કઈ લેંગ્વેજ અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડ કરશે? સો that will understand only machine level language. So is it possible for me to give input every time in machine level language, in a language of 1 and 0? Yes, Henil. So as Henil mentioned that it is not easy for us to give a input which is in machine level language. So આપણે કોઈક intermediate way apply કરવો પડે કે through that આપણે આપણી લેંગ્વેજને શેમાં કન્વર્ટ કરી શકીએ, and after that that language is converted into a machine level language. So generally with this processor, that intermediate part is assembly language. Generally આપણે કંઈક instruction લખીએ અને આપણે શું અપ્લાય કરશું? આપણે આપણા કમ્પાઇલર કે interpreter we will give hex code, right? And that hex code will be later on converted into a machine level language, and that way we will work, right? So generally, suppose if I want to perform an addition operation, so if I write add, the microprocessor will not understand that what is add, but the instruction decoder that will convert this add into a equivalent hex code. And if I give that hex code, that will be later on converted into a machine level language, and then processor will understand that I need to add these two numbers, right? So like that, we are using assembly language, and assembly language અત્યારે જે આપણે use કરે છે, that is in terms of hex code, so that we will give an hex code to our microprocessor, and for that, for the input, to give this input in terms of hex code, we are using a keypad, that is hex keypad, right? Now same way, suppose after the process I want to check some result, I will check on 7 segment display, right? So I hope this part is clear. Anyone any doubt? Right? What we discussed, power supply section, microprocessor we want to understand. IC એવી છે કે આને આપણે ડિટેલમાં we need to explore, right? એની અંદર કેટલા બ્લોક્સ હોય, કેટલા રજિસ્ટર્સ હોય, how we can process, how we can perform certain tasks, how we can connect it with input, how we can connect it with output. All these things related to this IC we need to understand in our syllabus, right? So any doubt in this? Anyone? અહીંયા સુધી કોઈને કઈ discussion? Any point that you want to discuss? Is it clear to everyone? Okay, very good. Now suppose if I'll say I want to connect my microprocessor and input device, can I connect it directly? હું એમ કહું કે મારી પાસે એક સેન્સરનો ડેટા છે, I want to connect it with microprocessor, can I connect it directly? Or simple વિચારો કે તમે મોસ્ટલી પ્રોજેક્ટમાં ક્યાંક you had checked કે તમારી પાસે મોટર છે, સ્ટેપર મોટર. You want to connect this stepper motor with your Arduino or Raspberry Pi. Can you connect it directly? Yes or no? First, give me answer in yes or no. Can you connect it directly? તમે તમારા પેરિફેરલ ડિવાઇસને ડિરેક્ટલી પ્રોસેસર જોડે કનેક્ટ કરી શકો? Yes or no? Pranav, Krishna, Janvi, can we connect a peripheral device directly with processor? તમને એક મોટર આપું, you can connect this motor with microprocessor directly. મોટરના બે જે પોઈન્ટ્સ જતા હોય ડાયરેક્ટ પ્રોસેસરને આપી શકો? યસ ઓર? So no, 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 no. Then what is the interface? Or શું કરી શકાય? If we are not able to connect processor directly with the peripheral, then what we should use? હવે વસ્તુનું via circuit. એ સર્કિટને જનરલી શું કહેવાય પ્રણવ? આટલું લખવામાં એટલી બધી પેલી કરો છો એના કરતા બોલી જાઓ. What that circuit known as? કોઈને આઈડિયા હોય? Suppose if I want to connect some input device or output device with my processor, the answer is clear that we cannot connect it directly. We need some intermediator. So generally intermediator ને શું કહેવાય? બધાને એવું વર્ડ યાદ હશે, મોટર ડ્રાઈવર જોશે. Yes or no? You need drivers, right? Motor drivers. તમે મોટર કનેક્ટ કરતા હોય તો drivers જોઈએ, right? For any input or output device to connect with the processor, you always need interface. You always need your drivers. So that generally here you can check this IC is keyboard and display interface. તમે કીબોર્ડ અને ડિસ્પ્લે અહીંયા જે માઇક્રોપ્રોસેસર જોડે કમ્યુનિકેટ કરવા માંગો છો, રાઈટ? યુ આર કનેક્ટિંગ ધીસ ઇનપુટ ડિવાઇસ એન્ડ આઉટપુટ ડિવાઇસ વિથ ધ માઇક્રોપ્રોસેસર. You need this interface, and that is known as keyboard and display interface. Through this, you can give an input as well as output to your microprocessor. So this particular IC is to provide an interface between your input and output device and 8085 microprocessor, right? Now, along with that, if you find this two IC, IO interface driver. Suppose if I don't want to use this keyboard and display, if I don't want to use this onboard keyboard and display, I want to connect some input and output device externally, right? આ બોર્ડનું જે ડિસ્પ્લે અને કીપેડ આપેલું છે, that I don't want to use, but I want to interface my microprocessor with some external input and output device. So through this IC, I can interface my microprocessor with this 8085 microprocessor. Am I clear with this discussion? Right? Whenever you want to connect your any input device or output device with a microprocessor, we all can understand we need a driver, right? We need an interface device. For this IC, for this trainer kit, this is a keyboard and display interface. Generally 8279 IC, 8279, which can be used as a keyboard and display interface. Suppose if you don't want to use this onboard keypad and display, you can connect your external keypad and display through this two IC, right? I hope I'm clear with this discussion. Anyone, any doubt? Yes or no? Is it clear to everyone? Right? Now, suppose if we are talking about microprocessor, if we are talking about input device, if we are talking about output device, હજી કઈ એવી વસ્તુ છે કે that still we need to discuss whenever we are talking about microprocessor as a system? હજી એવી કઈ basic requirement છે? Suppose if you are performing any task, right? If you are performing, if you are writing any code, right? તમને basically code ને save કરવા માટે શેની requirement હોય? What you need? Very good, Henry. You need a memory, right? સો અગર આ તમને ઓન બોર્ડ એક માઇક્રોપ્રોસેસર આપેલું છે, યુ મે હેવ અ ઇનપુટ ડિવાઇસ, યુ હેવ આઉટપુટ ડિવાઇસ, you have an interface which will communicate, which will be used to connect your microprocessor and peripheral device internally as well as externally. But still one important thing that we required is memory, right? So here in this trainer kit you will find you are having this memory chip, right? Generally if we are talking about memory, તો memory ના કયા કયા types ખબર છે તમને? Types of memory that you know? RAM, ROM, very good. RAM ના કઈ type હોય, ROM ના કઈ type? Virtual, very good. Okay, so generally RAM and ROM, it will say volatile and non-volatile. So ultimately that is RAM and ROM. Cache, very good, Pooja. Cache memory, right? So that thing we need to consider. This important element always we need to consider whenever we are talking about processor as a system. So here you can check here, check that we are having a RAM. RAM generally બે ટાઈપની હોય, SRAM and DRAM. How your bit is stored into a memory, based upon that you may have whether it will be in terms of charge or it may be in terms of logic. So based upon that you may have a static RAM or a dynamic RAM. So અહીંયા જે આપણને આ ટ્રેનર બોર્ડમાં આપેલી છે that is static RAM, SRAM, right? SRAM and DRAM can be a type of RAM. Here in this board we are having a static RAM is available. Same way for the ROM, right? Read only memory. You may have બધાને રોમ શું હોય, રોમ કેવી રીતે વર્ક કરે એ બધાને આઈડિયા છે, right? Once we are writing something onto the ROM, we are not able to erase it, but generally we have right now we have a provision that instead of ROM we are using EEPROM, right, which is erasable programmable read only memory. So you can erase, you can reprogram your chip by applying UV rays here. And તમે જોવો છો ત્યાં એક વિન્ડો આપેલી હોય, that window માં તમે UV rays apply કરો, so through that you can reprogram your chip, right? So basically અત્યારે મોસ્ટલી તમે જે બી devices use કરતા હોય એમાં ક્યાંય ROM ના હોય, but generally that will be EEPROM, erasable programmable read only memory. So that will be RAM, about memory, RAM and ROM, right? હજી EEPROM પછીનું next છે EEPROM. અહીંયા તમારે આને રીપ્રોગ્રામ કરવી તો યુવી રેઝ અપ્લાય કરવા પડે. સેમ વે તમે ઇલેક્ટ્રોનિકલી બી યુ કેન ઇરેઝ યોર પ્રોગ્રામ, સો દેટ ઇઝ નોન એઝ EEPROM, electronically erasable programmable read only memory. So that also can be possible, right? અહીંયા આપણે જે ટ્રેનર કિટમાં અવેલેબલ છે that is EEPROM. Now whenever you are connecting your whenever you are talking about the memory, generally આપણે મોબાઈલ કે લેપટોપ લેવા જતા હોય ત્યારે આપણને એવું કે 2 GB, ત્યારે તો 16 GB is inbuilt and it can be extend up to 32 GB, right? So here કોઈકને એમ થાય કે અહીંયાથી આઈસી નીકળી ગઈ છે, but this IC is, this particular free space is to expand your memory. તમારે તમારી RAM કે ROM ને if you want to expand, જે inbuilt છે ને expand કરવા માટે you can use this socket, you can use this particular part. So expansion can be possible here, right? So here we are having RAM, ROM, and extension of this whole section it will consider, that will give you idea about memory. So all the basic requirement કે આપણે જ્યારે પ્રોસેસરને સમજવું હોય, that is on board we are having through this trainer kit. Along with 8085 microprocessor, we are having a keypad, we are having a display, we are having a memory, right? Now as we discussed કે તમે અહીંયા જે બી સપ્લાય આપો છો that will be of 5 volt or 12 volt variable power supply છે, right? Now it may be possible કે તમારે ક્યારેક પ્રોગ્રામ પ્રેક્ટિકલ પરફોર્મ કરતા હોય ને લાઇટ જતી રહે, so we are having a battery backup also. So here આ તમને જે કેપેસિટર જેવું લાગે છે that is nothing but battery backup. આ બધી associated circuitry છે to make it work, right? Here this, if you observe this example, logic તમારે કોઈ બી IC ને properly work કરવા માટે you have to give this jumpers direction. And એના માટે તમે જ્યારે બી અહીંયા આવશો we will check in lab કે અગર તમે આ jumper position change કરો you are not in a position to make it work, right? Along with that, suppose તમે if you can observe here આ તમને જે metal section દેખાય છે, કોઈને આઈડિયા છે metal શું છે? Anyone? પાછું હજી એકવાર બતાવો. આ metal, what is this component? જે લોકોને ઘરે જૂના બધા હાર્ડવેર પડ્યા હોય ને ઓપન કરીને જોવાની હેબિટ હોય ને ખબર હોય શું છે? Anyone? See, to make any processor work, right? આપણે generally એમ કહેતા હોય this processor is faster, this is slow. How many within a second or within a fraction of second, how your processor will perform certain tasks based upon that speed will be decided, and to give that fraction of the second or a second or a fraction of millisecond, microsecond, what you need to apply is frequency, right? So generally તમને જે metal section દેખાય છે that is nothing but the oscillator which will generate a frequency that will provide a frequency, operating frequency to your microprocessor, right? Generally આપણે એમ કહેતા હોય કે આપણા પ્રોસેસરની જે ઓપરેટિંગ ફ્રીક્વન્સી છે અત્યારે જે લેપટોપ યુઝ કરો છો ક્યારેક તમે એના ફીચર્સમાં જોયું હોય જનરલી અત્યારે કેટલા કઈ રેન્જમાં ચાલે છે ફ્રીક્વન્સી? વોટ ઇઝ ધ ફ્રીક્વન્સી, ઓપરેટિંગ ફ્રીક્વન્સી ઓફ યોર માઇક્રોપ્રોસેસર? અગર તમે ક્યારેક તમારા લેપટોપના ફીચર જોયા હોય તો કઈ રેન્જમાં અત્યારે ઓપરેટિંગ ફ્રીક્વન્સી હોય છે? કોઈને આઈડિયા છે? હેનિલ, પ્રણવ, જાનવી? Yes or no? If we'll check the features of features of our laptop, તેમાં બધે જ mention હોય this is the operating frequency. It is in which range right now? કોઈને આઈડિયા નહીં? પૂજા? Just check it. It is in terms of GB, gigabyte, right? So with that, you can imagine how fast your processor is working, right? Generally, અત્યારે જે બી આપણે processors consider કરતા હોય, any operating frequency will be in terms of GB, gigabyte, right? So you can imagine gigahertz, sorry, right? So that you can imagine how fast your processor will work. Gigahertz range ma generally is 2 point, very good. The range is in between 2 to 5 gigahertz, right? All right. So if you'll observe this metal section, that is nothing but your crystal oscillator. Generally our frequency generate kon kare, so that will be generated by the oscillator, and this oscillator, this component is nothing but your crystal oscillator, right? Generally our processor આપણે અહીંયા જે use કરે છે 8085 microprocessor, that operating frequency of this processor is in terms of megahertz. Generally આ crystal oscillator જે use કર્યો છે any operating frequency, any frequency છે 2 to 4 gigahertz, 2 to 4 megahertz, right? Because the operating frequency of this microprocessor 8085 is in terms of megahertz. જે અત્યારે આપણે યુઝ કરીએ છીએ that is in terms of gigahertz, right? So I hope this trainer kit is clear to everyone. Anyone, any doubt in any component? or તમને એમ થાય કે હજી આ વસ્તુ છે શું છે એવું કંઈ પૂછવાનું મન થતું હોય, just look at this, 1 મિનિટ જોઈ લ્યો અને કોઈ બી કમ્પોનન્ટમાં કંઈ ડાઉટ રહેતો હોય just ask me. I'll provide this experiment to you, right? Introduction. Okay, anyone, any doubt, anything to discuss here in this introduction of 8085 trainer kit? Yes or no? If it is clear, you can mention in chat box. Yes, clear? To handle it's clear, very good. Okay, now very good. Okay, now suppose if I want to use this hardware this trainer kit to program my microprocessor, one thing should be clear in our mind, that I cannot write English like word or instruction which will directly understand by my microprocessor, right? As we discussed, our processor always machine level language understand કરતું હોય, and machine level language is not convenient to us to write, right? So with this trainer kit always will enter hex code, right? તમે સપોઝ એડિશન ઓપરેશન પરફોર્મ કરવા માંગતા હોય, so which is the instruction that will perform a addition operation, that first of all you need to find. Suppose if I say add instruction is used to perform a task of addition, so I need to check कि अगर मारे add instruction use करवी છે तो એના equivalent hex code શું થાય, and that hex code I need to enter over here. Is it clear to us? Right? અગર તમે આ ટ્રેનર કિટ યુઝ કરો છો એનો મતલબ તમે જે બી પ્રોગ્રામ લખો છો, ઇન્સ્ટ્રક્શન લખો છો, એના ઇક્વિવેલન્ટ હેક્સ કોડ ફાઇન્ડ આઉટ કરવા પડશે, અને હેક્સ કોડ you can enter over here through this keypad. Now your processor will process and you can check your result here on display, but that display તમે જે ડિસ્પ્લેમાં ઓબ્ઝર્વ કરો છો, that is again a hex result. Again I am repeating, whenever you are using this particular trainer kit, you are entering whatever you are entering, that is in terms of hex code. Your processor will perform tasks based upon the provided hex code, and it will display, it will give you output that you can display here, but again that result is always in hex, right? So that should be clear to us. Now how to program it? Obviously to check, we have to first of all know few instructions, right? So now through simulator, I think hardware part is clear to everyone. Now how can we check, અત્યારે તમે નથી આવતા કોલેજ, then કેવી રીતે કરી શકો, right? So for that we may have option to use a simulator. So before starting with the simulator, જેવી રીતે આપણે હાર્ડવેર સમજ્યું એવી રીતે સિમ્યુલેટર બી સમજી લઈએ એકવાર, how to use the simulator, that should be known to us, right? હવે જ્યારે બી તમે, whenever you will start with your 8085 programming, just ગૂગલમાં જઈને સર્ચ કરજો 8085 simulator. Again I'm repeating, only what you need to do is you need to go and search for 8085 simulator. I'll provide this simulator's link into your e-content also, but simply આજે હમણાં તમારે કરવું છે, you just go and search 8085 simulator. There are so many simulators are available, but go for Zubin Mitra's 8085 simulator. You can check here Zubin Mitra, right? So if why we are using this simulator, જેવી રીતે તમે કીબોર્ડ, આઈ મીન જેવી રીતે તમે હાર્ડવેર જોવો છો, the same logic થી your simulator is designed, that why we are using this. Otherwise there is no any constraint કે તમે આ જ simulator વાપરો, right? But to start with this simulator is good. એની જોડે બીજો ઓપ્શન આપણી પાસે અવેલેબલ હોય અહીંયા, કે સપોઝ if I'll check here, right? If I'll check here, અહીંયા તમારી પાસે સેટિંગ્સમાં you may have a option કે તમે જે તમારું ટ્રેનર કિટ જોવો છો, I'll give you idea for that also. તમે તમારી જે ટ્રેનર કિટ જોવો છો, same trainer kit logic is applied over here. So we are I'm recommending you to use this, but there is again no constraint कि તમે આ જ simulator use કરો, but at least to start with you just have to download this 8085 microprocessor simulator. Now suppose if I'll check here, તો હવે તમે કમ્પ્યુટરના સ્ટુડન્ટ છો, so we all know કે જ્યારે બી તમે કોઈ બી સિમ્યુલેટર યુઝ કરતા હોય, તમને એક એવી સ્પેસ જોઈએ, વર્ક સ્પેસ, when you will write your code, right? So this is a space where you can write your code, you can assemble it. assemble કરું છું એનો મતલબ એ છે કે my code is converted, whatever I'm writing in terms of instruction, that will be converted into a equivalent hex code. So તમારા જે English like word છે એનું assembly language માં conversion થાય છે after this assembling process, right? Then you go and simulate. તો તમારી પાસે સિમ્યુલેશન માટે બે ઓપ્શન હોય કે તમે તમારા આખા પ્રોગ્રામને જોડે રીડ કરીને એનું રિઝલ્ટ જોવા માંગો છો કે એક ઇન્સ્ટ્રક્શનને એક્ઝિક્યુટ કરીને એનું રિઝલ્ટ જોવા માંગો છો. So based upon that, you can choose either way, run all at a time or step by step. Again, I'm repeating the processor whenever you will like this. Suppose અત્યારે હું આને ક્લોઝ કરું છું. Yes. Suppose if I'll go and check, જ્યારે બી તમે ડાઉનલોડ કરશો, this symbol you will find, right? Simply double click on that. This is your default window that you will find once you will open your simulator. This is a workspace, right? Or the space that is provided to you, that which is used to write your code. તમારે જ્યાં કોડ લખવાનો છે, પ્રોગ્રામ લખો છો, એના માટે સ્પેસ પ્રોવાઈડ કરેલી છે. Once you will write your code, you will go and assemble it, which will convert your English like word, your mnemonics into a assembly language. Now after assembling, એટલે હવે સપોઝ તમારી પાસે પ્રોગ્રામ છે એમાં કોઈ એરર નથી, then the next step is to simulate it. Simulation માટે you may have two options. Either you can read your whole program simultaneously and directly you are checking for the result. So for that, run all at a time. Or suppose if you are writing 10 lines into your code and you want to check after each and every instruction what is happening, so you have to go step by step. So step by step karo, then you will check the result of each and every instructions, right? So as we discussed, you are writing code here, you will assemble it, you will simulate it. Now how to check after assembling or after simulating what is my result? So for that you are having a registers are available which will provide you a result. Your result ક્યાં સ્ટોર થશે? તો in any of these registers your result will be stored. Where it will be stored, that we have to write in code, right? Suppose હું એમ કહું કે મારો result register B માં store થવું જોઈએ, so related to that instruction I need to write in my code. So registers I may have, right? The detail of this registers, this flag, this stake pointer, memory pointer, all these things will go and check in a class. This is inside the microprocessor. તમે જ્યારે એનું આર્કિટેક્ચર જોશો માઇક્રોપ્રોસેસરનું, તો you will get an idea that with this processor we are having how many registers, what is the use of stack pointer, how your program counter will work, what is a flag register. All this idea you will get once you know the architecture of 8085 microprocessor, right? Now as we discussed, suppose if we are writing here some code, we are executing it, so where temporarily where your program will store, so that for that we need some memory, and here we are having a memory that is available from memory location or the range of memory that we are having from 000 to FFF, right? 2 raised to 16, 64K kilobyte memory you can interface here with the available address and data line. So we may have a memory range that is 0000 to FFF. એમાંથી કેટલું તમારે ઓબ્ઝર્વ કરવું છે? So here you can apply a range. Out of 0000 to FFF, I want to only observe C000 to CFFF. So that range you can provide here. So with this range, you can check here that these locations are available to you starting from C000 to CFF, right? CFFF, right? So I hope this part is clear. So as we discussed, here you need to write a code, you need to assemble it, you will execute it, you will check the result, right? For the storing, for the execution purpose, your program must be stored into memory. So for that we are having a range of memory available, right? Range, total range કેટલી હોય? 000, that is your initial location to maximum up to FFFF. But આમાંથી તમારે કઈ range observe કરે છે? Obviously all location or 64 kilobyte memory you cannot observe here. So તો એમાંથી તમારે કેટલા લોકેશન ઓબ્ઝર્વ કરવા છે. સો દેટ રેન્જ યુ કેન પ્રોવાઈડ હિયર, રાઈટ. નાઉ એઝ વી ડિસ્કસ કે આપણી પાસે જ્યારે હાર્ડવેર હોય ત્યારે આપણી પાસે ઇનપુટ ડિવાઇસ હોય, આઉટપુટ ડિવાઇસ હોય, તો એવું ઇનપુટ આઉટપુટ તમે અહીંયા માઇક્રોપ્રોસેસરમાં સિમ્યુલેટરમાં ક્યાંથી આપી શકો. સો યુ મે હેવ આઈઓ પોર્ટ એડિટર. તો અહીંયાથી મારે સપોઝ કંઈક ઇનપુટ આપવું છે 02 આઈ વોન્ટ ટુ ગીવ એઝ એન ઇનપુટ. સો વોટ આઈ ડુ ઇઝ આઈ ગો એન્ડ give here input 02, and from that location I take here the input, right. Same way, suppose if I want to display some result onto the output device, so here in my code I'll write out onto this port address. So a port address પર તમારો જે બી ડેટા હોય out થઈ જાય. Gradually once you will use this simulator, you are going to understand that how memory is involved, how input output device is involved, how your registers will work, where we have to write, right. So basic simulators understandingમાં કઈ doubt થતો હોય તો પૂછો પેલા. Any part that you want me to repeat, please discuss. And in case if it is clear to you, acknowledge. Clear થઈ ગયું હોય તો you can say it's clear now, so we can go ahead. Okay. In case if any of the things still you want me to repeat, please raise. કોઈ વસ્તુ તમને એમ થતી હોય કે આ હજી એકવાર રિપીટ કરવાની જરૂર છે? It's clear? Okay, good. Okay, very good. Okay, Pranav, can you tell me કે આપણે હાર્ડવેર જોયું એમાં કેટલા કેટલા પ્રાઇમરી એલિમેન્ટ્સ હતા? How many primary components we are having in our hardware trainer kit? Pranav, unmute and talk. Henil? See, always you will get your assessment through these answers, right? એવું ના હોય કે વાયવા લઈએ એક દિવસમાં તમને શું આવડે છે. It will always be assessed through this part. લેક્ચરમાં તમે કેટલું ધ્યાન આપો છો, કેટલું બોલો છો, right? Can anyone tell me how many parts that we discussed in our hardware section? Trainer kitમાં શું શું મેઇનલી હતું? Very good. Pooja, it will be better अगर તમે unmute કરીને બોલી શકો. Power microprocessor, hex keypad. Very good. Okay. Can anyone tell me how much voltage we have to give to 8085 microprocessor trainer kit? Very good. It's variable in between 5 to 12 volt, right? Some IC will take 5, some will take 12. Very good. 5 volt basically. And ત્યારે આપણી ટ્રેનર કિટમાં જેટલી બી ICs છે, basically they are working on 5 volts, so we are giving 5 volt processor. Okay, we are using a microprocessor. Can anyone tell me something about this microprocessor? Who is manufacturer? How many number of pins, like that? Yes, anyone? Some basic idea about microprocessor that we are using here in our trainer. કઈ બ્રાન્ડનો હતો? કઈ who was the manufacturer? Yes, very good. And if you observe this IC, right, it is having a 40 pins, 40 pins, right? So each and every pin we will discuss in class. That suppose if I want to use this IC, I must know what is the use of each and every pin. With this IC, we are having 40 different pins. So we have to understand 40 pins in our pin diagram, right? એમ થાય ઓ આ 40 pins કેવી રીતે યાદ રહેશે અને શું ફંક્શન હશે એને, right? We will go and check in detail in class. Once you understand it, that will be easy for you to learn, to memorize, right? Directly 40 pin યાદ રાખવા જાય તો કોઈને યાદ ના રહે. Simple વસ્તુ છે. But you know, you will understand the function of each and every pin, then it will be easy for you to remember, right? Okay. Now, power supply we discuss about microprocessor. Can anyone tell me about which are the input and output device that we are connecting here in our trainer kit? Very good. 6 field of 7 segment display as an output. 6 segments of 7, 6 field of 7 segment display. Very good. And what for input? What we are providing for the input? Keypad, and that keypad is not normal keypad, but it is a hex keypad. Very good. Right. Now, along with this input, output, what else we discuss in this hardware? Which is again a very important part. IO drivers. Very good. Okay. Things should be clear to us. Very good. RAM, ROM, oscillators. Okay. Things should be clear to us whenever we want to communicate our processor and peripheral device that cannot be direct. We always have to use some driver. We always have to use some interface. So IO interface we discuss. Then we discuss about memory, RAM and ROM. Okay. Out of SRAM and DRAM here we are using which RAM? Pranav? RAM na બે type છે. So out of that we are using which RAM? SRAM, static RAM. Very good. What about ROM? Which type of ROM we are connecting here? It's EEPROM. Erasable, programmable, read-only memory, erasable, programmable, read-only memory, EEPROM, right? You can reprogram your ROM also by applying UV rays onto the window. Right? તમારી જે બી IC હોય એના surface પર there will be a one window. તમે ક્યારેક જોયું હોય તો. Right? Memory EEPROM ની IC તમે જોયો તો એના surface પર you will find one window. That on that window if you apply UV rays, you are able to reprogram your RAM, and that type of ROM is known as EEPROM, erasable programmable read-only memory. Okay, so that oscillator, again, very important thing to make any IC work. We need operating frequency, and that operating frequency will be generated by the oscillator. Generally આપણી જે IC છે 8085 microprocessor, it is working on 3 megahertz, right? So we are using the oscillator that will be in a range of 3 to 6 megahertz. 3 to 6 megahertz range in oscillator we are providing, which will generate a frequency in between 3 to 6. A particular processor, 8085 microprocessor, that will work on 3 megahertz operating frequency, right? So I hope this part is clear. Right, that is a general information about processor and associated circuitry. Processor and associated circuitry. If I'll give you this chip only, as we discussed, it will be of no use. You always need to connect your peripheral as well as memory with the microprocessor. Right? So very important thing that we discuss through this trainer. Okay. Now, in option to that, we can use a simulator where we may have a provision to do everything virtually, right? અહીંયા આપણી પાસે કોઈ hardware નથી. But suppose if I want to program my microprocessor, I can take input from this port address. I will use this memory part to store my program. I'll use this temporary registers to perform certain tasks. Based upon that, I can check status here. Whatever I want to perform as a task, what I'll do is I'll write an equivalent code, I'll assemble it, I'll simulate it, and I'll check the result, right? So without any hardware, without any physical connection, you can check your result through this simulation, right? So I hope I'm clear with this. Now, with how to use this simulator, with one or two basic instructions, simply we want to understand that how we will assemble, how we will simulate. અત્યારે આપણે ખાલી બોલીએ છીએ, but how actually we can do that? કેમ કે અહીંયા આપણે કોઈ કનેક્શન તો છે નહીં. So with the use of 2-3 instruction, we only can understand here is the process, right? કેવી રીતે આ સિમ્યુલેટરને તમારે વર્ક કરાવવું. To understand that process, we want to first check કે આપણી પ્રોસેસરમાં આપણે જે અત્યારે પ્રોસેસર કન્સિડર કરીએ છીએ એની કઈ કઈ ઇન્સ્ટ્રક્શન હોય. તો જસ્ટ વી વોન્ટ ટુ અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડ ફ્યુ બેઝિક ઇન્સ્ટ્રક્શન કે જેનાથી તમે આ સિમ્યુલેટરની પ્રોસેસ સમજી શકો, રાઈટ? સો ફર્સ્ટ ઓફ ઓલ just try to focus on this MOV. Can you check here this opcode MOV, right? Now suppose if I'll write MOV, suppose if I'll write MOV, આપણી પાસે અહીંયા માઇક્રોપ્રોસેસરમાં 6 રજિસ્ટર્સ હશે. There are 6 general purpose register. General purpose રજિસ્ટરનો મતલબ શું કે તમારે ટેમ્પરરી ડેટા કે પ્રોસેસ માટે સ્ટોર કરવા હોય, so always the data you can store into the register. Suppose અહીંયા મારી પાસે 6 general purpose register available છે, which is B, C, D, E, H, L. દરેક રજિસ્ટરની સાઇઝ 88 બીટની છે. I can store 8 bit data into this. So suppose if I'll write કે મારે કોઈ 8 બીટ ડેટાને રજિસ્ટરમાં સ્ટોર કરવો છે, તો એના માટે મારી પાસે ઇન્સ્ટ્રક્શન હોય MVI, move immediate data. Again I am repeating, suppose મારી પાસે 32 number છે, so how I can take that 32 into some register? So for that I need to move this content, this data into some register. So for that, key instruction we will use in here in 8085 microprocessor. So let's say for example MVI. So suppose if I write MVI B, B શું છે? B રજિસ્ટરનું નામ છે. કયા કયા રજિસ્ટર હોય? B, C, D, E, H, L. 6 general purpose register. પછી બધા કયા કયા registers હશે આના સિવાયના, that we will discuss. But આ 6 general purpose registers છે, which for any temporary storage purpose you can use this register. So if I write MVI B, suppose મારે 09 છે એને રજિસ્ટર B માં ટ્રાન્સફર કરવું છે. So what simply I'll write MVI B 09H. એનો મતલબ આ 09H લખું છું, that is equivalent કે હું hex code લખું છું. 09H એનો મતલબ હું મારું જે બી પ્રોગ્રામિંગ કરું છું એ hex code થ્રુ કરું છું. That's why I'm writing H. Now if I write MVI B09, so whatever data I'm mentioning here, that will be transferred into register B, right? So MVI is a simple and very basic instruction for this processor. Is if you want to take any data into some temporary register, you can use the MVI instruction. Now which register that you need to mention here? For your data that you need to mention as a destination, right? So MVI, after MVI, always where you want to store this data, that register you need to mention, and the data you need to mention. Anyone any doubt in this? Right? Now suppose if I am having 09 is available into my, if I am having a 09 is available into my register B, I want to transfer it into another register. મારે એને C માં ટ્રાન્સફર કરવો છે, B માંથી. So if I write MOV C, B, MOV, that is move C, B, that means this content of B will be copied into register C. Again I'm repeating, suppose if I are writing MOV instruction, that is register to register transfer. If I'm having some data which is already stored into some register, I want to transfer it into another register, simply I will write MOV instruction, right? So with these two basic instruction, we can understand here the process of simulation. તમે એનાથી આ બે સિમ્પલ ઇન્સ્ટ્રક્શનથી તમે આખી પ્રોસેસ સમજી શકો. તેના માટે હું અહીંયા બે ઇન્સ્ટ્રક્શન લખું છું કે અત્યારે તમે you will observe. Am I audible properly, students?
Yes.
Okay. How to make this simulator work, or how we can proceed with this simulator? To understand this, we are using this simple two instruction. As we discussed, suppose if I want to ટ્રાન્સફર સમ ઇમિડિયેટ ડેટા, કોઈ ડેટાને મારે રજિસ્ટરમાં નાખવું છે, રજિસ્ટરમાં ટ્રાન્સફર કરવું છે, then which instruction I need to use? કઈ ઇન્સ્ટ્રક્શન હતી એના માટે? If I want to transfer data into register, which instruction I need to use? Anyone? હમણાં જ બે ઇન્સ્ટ્રક્શન આપણે કરી ડિસ્કસ. If I have some data, મારે 02 ને કોઈ રજિસ્ટરમાં ટ્રાન્સફર કરવું છે, which instruction I need to use? Very good, Pooja. That is very good. MVI. So what I'll write is MVI. Suppose મારે register B માં અહીંયા તમે જુઓ ને અત્યારે you can observe here that the content of each and every register is as 00 right now, right? બધું જ clear છે. The content of all memory location is 00. Can you observe here? Right? અત્યારે આપણા પ્રોગ્રામમાં આપણા સિમ્યુલેટર્સમાં કાંઈ જ ડેટા સ્ટોર નથી. It is in reset mode. બધું જ 00 છે. Input output device, if you observe that all is 0. And now I'm writing some code. Through this, what I'm expecting is કે હું MVI B and 09H લખું. આ H એટલા માટે લખું છું કેમ કે હું હેક્સ કોડ લખું છું. 09 ડેસિમલ નથી પણ હેક્સાડેસિમલ છે. So if I write MVI B09, then what I'm expecting is કે આ રજિસ્ટર B છે 00 છે કેટલું થઈ જવું જોઈએ? What should be the content after execution? What should be the content of register B after executing this program? Students, if I write MVIB 09H, now instead of this register B00, what should be the result after execution? It should be 09 simple, right? અત્યારે મારા જે રજિસ્ટરનું કન્ટેન્ટ છે 00, now I'm transferring this immediate data, this 09 into register B. બસ મારે ખાલી એટલું જ કરવું છે. HLT is to stop execution, hold, બંધ કરવા માટે, તમારા પ્રોગ્રામનું એક્ઝિક્યુશન સ્ટોપ કરવા માટે HLT hold છે, right? Now suppose if I want to execute this program, I want to check the result, how to go? બહુ ધ્યાનથી જોઈ લેજો, રાઈટ? વેરી ઇઝી, એવું કોઈ ડિફિકલ્ટ વસ્તુ નથી, બટ જસ્ટ ફોકસ ઓન ધીસ પ્રોસેસ. સો પહેલી વારમાં તમે સમજી શકો કે કેવી રીતે how we can deal with this process, how we can deal with this simulator throughout the semester, right? So here what I'll do is I'll write the code equivalent to my given task. મને જે બી મારે ટાસ્ક પરફોર્મ કરવી હોય એના રિલેટેડ જે બી ઇન્સ્ટ્રક્શન આવશે that I'll write here. અત્યારે મારે સિમ્પલ એ કરવું છે, I want to only transfer this number into register B. So what I'll write is MVI B09H and stop execution, right? Okay. Now as we discuss, whenever you will write your code and it will assemble it, તમે જે બી અહીંયા ઇન્સ્ટ્રક્શન લખી છે એના ઇક્વિવેલન્ટ હેક્સ કોડ જનરેટ થશે. Can you observe here, students? If I'll write MVI B09H, so MVI B એટલે પ્રોસેસર કેમ અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડ કરશે કે આ MVI B એટલે મારે કોઈક ઇમિડિયેટ ડેટાને રજિસ્ટરમાં ટ્રાન્સફર કરવું છે, તો એ આપણી લેંગ્વેજ નથી સમજતો. It will not understand MVI, but it will understand this hex code. Yes or no? So whenever you will go and assemble, it will generate your instructions equivalent hex code, right? Now once this 06 will be fetched, then my processor will understand that now I need to transfer this immediate data into register B. Again, I'm repeating, whenever you will write this instruction, your processor will not understand what it has to do. But once you will assemble it, this will generate an equivalent hex code. Now, whenever this 06 will be fetched from the memory, the processor will understand that I have to transfer some immediate data into register C. Is it clear? Register B. Is it clear to everyone? Right? આ 06 આવશે એનો મતલબ પ્રોસેસર અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડ કરી લેશે કે કોઈક immediate data હશે that should be transferred into register B and hold is to stop execution. અગર 76 આવશે એનો મતલબ પ્રોસેસર will understand that now I has to stop my execution, right? So assembling process બધાને સમજાય છે? Yes or no? Is it clear to everyone? You need to write your code here. You need to write your code here. Go and assemble. So assembler, what it will do? It will generate a equivalent hex code for your given instruction. Right? તમે હમણાં આની પહેલા આ ઓબ્ઝર્વ કર્યું હશે. If you'll observe, અહીંયા મેં ભૂલથી આમ સ્પેસ રાખી દીધી હોય તો એનઓપી આવી જાય. એનઓપી મતલબ નો ઓપરેશન. એનો મતલબ આપણા પ્રોગ્રામમાં કંઈક એરર છે, રાઈટ? એના ઇક્વિવેલન્ટ હેક્સ કોડ જનરેટ નથી થતા, રાઈટ? સો ક્યારે બી આવું ઇફ યુ ફાઇન્ડ લાઈક ધીસ, યુ નીડ ટુ અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડ કે કંઈક પ્રોગ્રામમાં એરર છે. ધેર ઇઝ સમ પ્રોબ્લેમ વિથ ધ કોડ, રાઈટ? એન્ડ યુ હેવ ટુ રીચેક ઇટ. So if I'll go and assemble, now you can check here that equivalent hex code is generated. That means the process of assembling is successfully done. Any doubt in this? Right? હમણાં જ આપણે સ્ટેપ ડિસ્કસ કર્યા assembling પછી next step શું હોય? What is the next step after assembling? After assembling, what is the next step? Chandi, Henil, Pooja. What is the next step after assembling? You have to go and simulate, right? તમારે હવે એને શું કરવું પડે? Simulate કરવું પડે. Simulation માટે, as we discussed, we have two options to simulate. Either અત્યારે તો આપણી પાસે એક જ લાઈન છે, તો તમે one by one કરો કે run all at a time કરો, will give you a same result. Suppose if you are having a number of instruction to execute, so you may have option કે તમારે એક instruction ને whether you want to execute one instruction or a whole program together, and then you want to check for your result, you may have all two options are available. Suppose right now we are going for the step-by-step process. So go and step by step. So step by step, go to forward step. You can check here that MVIB 09. So register B is modified with the number 09. Can you check here? Can you observe here? Initial the content of register B was 00. Now that is modified to 09. Right? Are we able to understand the process? If it is clear to you, acknowledge it. Good. Right? In case of any doubt, please discuss. Students, if any of the step is still not clear to you, just discuss. Is it clear to everyone? Okay. So now, एक step ahead चाहिए कि suppose if I will say I'm transferring this 09 data. See, you can check here any data you can store. You simply need to go and assemble. MVIB code is 06. Now instead of 09, I want to transfer 02. So whenever I'll go and assemble, the content will be reset to 000. Now I'll run it all time, and you can check here the register's content is modified to 02. Now one step ahead, suppose our data is already in one register, which is in register B. I want to transfer it into a register. So as we discussed, we have a instruction MOV, which can be used to transfer your one register's content into another register. So suppose if I want to transfer the same data into register C as well, so what I'll write is MOV C, B, which will copy the content of B into C. The content of B શું હતું? 02 હતું. Now again, after the execution, the expectation is C also should be modified to 02, right? So if I'll go and assemble it, you can check here equivalent hex code is generated. And now if I'll run it, now we'll go step by step. See here right now, all the values are 00. So if we'll observe, after the execution of first instruction, your register B is modified to 02. Now again, one step forward, your registers B's content is modified to is copied to register C. So B and C both are modified to 0202. Yes or no? Right? And that is the end of the code. Okay. So in that way, by using these two instructions, we can understand the process. Here, you can understand કે આ હેક્સ કોડ ક્યાંથી પેસ્ટ કરતા હોય તો કે મેમરીમાંથી. તો હિયર યુ કેન ઓબ્ઝર્વ કે C000 લોકેશન પર MVI B માટેનું કોડ ઇઝ સ્ટોર્ડ. Then next location C001 પર there is a code, there is a immediate data, right? Obviously આપણે સ્ટોર નથી કરતા, but whenever you will go and assemble it, that will be stored onto the memory, and the result you can display here in your temporary registers, right? Right now we are not taking the data from input output device, so here this field is reset to 00. ત્યારે આપણે કઈ input output device પરથી નથી લેતા, but we are only taking, we are directly giving an input as a number, so that you can check here, right? I hope this part is clear. Please discuss in case of any doubt. Okay, suppose મારે બધા જ રજિસ્ટરમાં I want to transfer 05. So can you write the set of instruction? મારે બધા જ રજિસ્ટર એટલે જેટલા રજિસ્ટર છે અમારી પાસે અવેલેબલ છે BCDEHL, બધા જ રજિસ્ટરમાં મારે 05 ને ટ્રાન્સફર કરવા છે. Then what can be a set of instruction? Please write here in chat box. 05 ડેટા છે અને મારે બધા જ રજિસ્ટરમાં સ્ટોર કરવા છે. Everyone write here a code for the same.
The last video we finished off.
Okay, we'll see who is the first. What we need to do is clear to you. We want to transfer 05. We want to copy this content in all register BCDEHL. Yes, students. We want to transfer 05 in all registers. Make it fast, students. Henil, Smith, very good. 05, C to B, B to C, B to D. We are having B, C, D and HL, 6 registers, Henil. So, very good. Very good, Janvi. So here we are taking, we are copying the Janvi's code here from here. Janvi, હજી એક last instruction શું ભૂલી ગઈ? After copying, after transferring, what should be the last instruction for any program?
HLT.
Very good. It should be a stop execution, which can be specified through HLT, right? So Janvi no code apply. Simply we are in here. Initially we are taking 05 in any register, right? એવું જરાય જરૂરી નથી કે તમારે પેલા B માં લેવું પડે. If you want to check the content in all the registers, then content you can take in any register. So from B to C we are transferring, from C to D we are transferring, from E to D. કેમ બે વાર D માં, Janvi?
E should be first.
From E to D, then E to H, H to L. Very good, right? Now we'll go and assemble it. Right now you can check here all the contents are 0, 0, 0. All the contents are 0 here. After assembling process, if your code is correct, Then equivalent hex code is generated. Like say for example MVIB 06 is hex code, 05 is your number. Then for this instruction 48 is a code. એટલે સમજો છો ને તમે કે જે બી ઇન્સ્ટ્રક્શન લખો એને યુનિક કોડ હોય. આ યુનિક કોડ હું અપ્લાય કરું, then my processor will understand that I want to perform this particular task. Suppose if I'll give 48, that means my processor will decode that 48 means I need to transfer the content of B into C. Right? So this process is done. Right? આપણે સમજૂતી કરી લીધી છે કે પ્રોસેસર કેવી રીતે અંડરસ્ટેન્ડ કરશે. In that way we are generating the code. Now, as we discussed, after assembling process for the simulation, we have two options, either go step by step. So we can check here after execution of first instruction, register B is modified with 5. Then all this 5 will be copied in all register. You can check here B, C, D, E, H, L, right? Accumulator, હજી બાકી રહી ગયું, accumulator ને આપણે transfer નથી કર્યું. So you can write MOV from any register to accumulator. So MOV A, H or L or D, E, B, C, any register you can mention. And like that you can load all your register, right? So I hope this part is clear. કોઈનામાં કઈ doubt છે anyone? So here, as we had mentioned earlier, that we will understand this how to program your processor. So for that we must know instruction. So this part we will going to start or will learn in a lab session. And what is inside the microprocessor? So that comes under the category of architecture and interfacing. So that we will learn in our theory session, right? Ultimately theory લખો, જે બી theory session હોય એમાં અગર તમને એવી નહીં ખબર હોય કે BCDEHL registers હોય, then obviously you cannot write that in your program. So equally important. So આપણી જે theory session છે 2-3 sessions, initial 2-3 sessions are very important because that will give you knowledge, that will give you idea what you need to use into your program. અત્યારે હું તમને એમ કહું રજિસ્ટર બી, so obviously કોઈને આઈડિયા ન હોય કે રજિસ્ટર બી એટલે શું છે, રાઈટ? બટ વન્સ વી નો ધ આર્કિટેક્ચર કે આપણી પાસે શું અવેલેબલ છે પ્રોસેસરમાં ફોર ધ પ્રોસેસ પોઈન્ટ ઓફ વ્યૂ, then you can understand that now this part I can use in my program, right? So initial architecture 2-3 session very important to understand your inside processor things as well as for your programming. Right? So I hope today's lab is clear to everyone. કોઈને કઈ doubt હોય? Anyone? Is it clear to everyone? Okay. With next lab, we'll check that suppose if we are having a few basic data transfer instruction. So how can we write code which will provide us some process based upon data transfer group? એટલે આપણે થોડી data transfer ની instruction પહેલા observe કરશું, and then we are going to perform our second experiment which is based upon data transfer instructions. એટલે આપણે જેટલા બી આપણી પાસે ટાસ્ક છે, રાઈટ, એને આપણે અલગ અલગ ગ્રુપમાં ડિવાઈડ કરી દીધા છે. With this group of instruction, you can only transfer the data. With this group of instruction, you can perform arithmetic operation. With this group of instruction, you can perform logical operation, right? So, jetla bhi task che, that we are dividing into a number of groups. And with this groups, આપણે experiment design કર્યા છે. અગર તમે તમારો experiment list observe કરો, if you observe this experiment list, so that is based upon your instructions category. આજે આપણે first experiment જોયું, that is introduction to 8085 trainer kit. Can you see my screen, students? Our screen visible છે? Okay. So if you observe your first experiment, so that is basically the understanding of your 8085 trainer kit. Now onwards from the second experiment, we'll work in group of instruction which will perform specific tasks. Say, for example, if I want to transfer some data from memory to register, from register to memory, from input device to memory, from input device to registers, from register to output device, if this kind of operation I want to perform, this will comes under this data transfer category. Same way, suppose if I want to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, any arithmetic operation I want to perform, the few instruction that I must know, and that use of this few instruction will comes under this category of arithmetic operation, right? તો જેટલા બી આપણે પ્રોસેસર થી જેટલા બી ટાસ્ક પરફોર્મ કરવાના છે એને ગ્રુપમાં ડિવાઈડ કરી દીધા છે. સો ફર્સ્ટ ઓફ ઓલ how we will proceed in our lab, ki first of all we will try to understand the instruction, the format of the instruction. આમ તમને ખબર છે કે આમાં move C, B લખો ને move B, C લખો, there will be a different meaning, right? અગર તમે C, B લખો છો તો B નું ડેટા છે C માં જાય છે. Suppose if you write C, B, then the content of C will be transferred to B. So along with the instruction, the format of the instruction is equally important. તમે એનો format change કરી નાખો તો meaning will be different, right? So in every lab, for the first 30 minutes, we'll try to understand the instructions, the format of the instruction. And the remaining part, I will provide you 4 tasks, 5 tasks for each and every group. And that task we need to perform, right? With submission, will follow a Google Classroom, right? I'll provide you link to join. તમારે એમાં કેવી રીતે જોઈન કરવાનું છે, that I'll provide it to you, all the information. Once you will find that invitation, join through a link. And suppose today we had performed આજે તો આપણે introduction of 8085 trainer kits. Obviously એમાં તમે શું સમજ્યા, that conclusion only you need to write. The experiment I'll provide, but from the next lab onwards, suppose if we'll understand the first experiment, the task that is given to you that you need to do at the time of lab, and later on by the end of the day you need to upload it onto a Google Classroom. So that will be our criteria for the submission, right? So I hope the process is clear. Anyone, any discussion on this part? So by next class we'll go for the experiment number 2, and that is related to data transfer group, right? Now just wait for a while.